Good afternoon, Michael Wynn, Chief Digital Officer of Digital Ops, the division of RB Oppenheim Associates. Thanks for joining in today on the Digital Marketing Podcast and video, where we talk about strategies and tactics to help grow your business. Today, I want to talk about the social web effect of 2020 and really gleaning insight from the Russian Facebook ads of 2016. This is going to be part one in a three-part series where we're going to break down what was the tactics, what were the strategies of the Russian Internet Research Agency, the IRA, as it's come to be known now, as a result of what Congress reported through the House Intelligence Committee and the documents that they released about a year ago, a little over a year ago in May of 2018. Here's the thing. The context of what we're going to share today is not about deciding right or wrong. It's not about party affiliation. What we want to do is we want to dissect and understand what it was, how it was executed, and what we might learn from that, and then how your business might actually leverage what was a really smart and effective method to impact major global impact using a platform that we live and breathe and carry and walk around with us every minute of every day, and it's the social web. Now, granted, in 2016 it was Facebook, and don't be misled. This definitely bleeds over into Instagram just as well. It also bleeds over into retargeting, which really opens up the entire internet for every website that you've ever visited that has the display ad network on them. So, I mean, we're talking basically the top 1,000 websites that everyone visits, as well as some of the top apps that are on your mobile device. So here we go. Let's break it down. Here's what we know. We know that the House Intelligence Committee, when handed over the information that Facebook basically was forced to provide, found out that the IRA, the Internet Research Agency, cranked up 470 Facebook business pages to run ads on. So essentially, they created their own little fake network of businesses or digital identities to run these ads on. So again, they didn't crank up these pages and go in and organically post to their page. They used 470 different business accounts to place ads and these ads were very strategic in what the visual was and what the title was and the headlines. They were 100% targeted at specific motivations, specific interests to Americans. So 470 business Facebook pages. During roughly an 18-month period from 2015 to 2017, there were over 80,000 ads that were run from these 470 Facebook pages. Guys, think about that. 80,000 different pieces of creative in 18 months. Guys, do the math. That is a bunch of creative. Here's what's crazy. So when the House Committee released the information, I'm going to put a link in our blog post so you can follow all of what I'm telling you. And you can go and you can see, and you can literally download PDFs of what these ads were. Not only can you see what the ads were, you can see the ad metadata, meaning who they targeted, where they targeted, what the behaviors were. It's what we've been talking about as the platform in and of itself. And again, it's not a surprise, that it just reminds me of when Zuckerberg was testifying in front of Congress and he said, we run ads, and they just were like, what do you mean? Like, and because in their mind, they're thinking 1980s, run a TV ad, right? They have no idea what it means to leverage behavioral interest and then have the digital breadcrumb trail of retargeting that once I leave the platform and hit that landing page that I wanted to see what that fake news was, I'm then cookied, and then I've got a whole nother set of creative that's coming behind me that was off of the Facebook ad platform. Here's another crazy, unbelievable statistic that I'm about to tell you. So of those 80,000 pieces of content during that time period, Facebook reported that these accounts, when you totaled them up, totaled just over $100,000 in ads that were placed. Think about that in the context of what a candidate raises when trying to run for office, right? They'll report millions of dollars, right? And they're doing billboard ads and TV ads and radio spots and all these different things. The Russians spent $100,000 over 18 months. And to some degree, people say they influenced the outcome of the election. Yet other business continue to say, we're going to spend tens of thousands of dollars per month on TV and radio and Google AdWords and all these other platforms, and ignore and say, Facebook advertising doesn't work. Guys, this is fascinating. You really need to understand. Here's what they've done, and we've talked about this on the show before. When you understand what matters most to your audience, when you really understand it, and you create creative to match those important factors, you will get their attention because you're speaking to them in their language. As marketers, sometimes we struggle because the client wants us to place a message that's all about them, that's all about how great they are. And in some instances, that can be effective. But what we know is most effective is when you deploy empathy in a strategy to connect with the emotions and with the values that are most important to your target audience, to the people who you want to reach. Something very, very unique happens, right? So in just a couple of, I'm going through right now and I'm looking at every single one of these PDFs. I mean, there's literally, I forgot what the number is. I want to say it was roughly 8. Let me look this number up real quick. Just under 9 gigabytes of data when you measure all of the PDFs that were put together, that were screenshots from the Facebook platform. So 9 gigabytes, right? Think about it. Your phone, which most phones have anywhere from 16, 32 gigabytes, which is amazing. So of these 80,000 ads, they put them in PDFs. Hey, someone's calling right now. Tell us more about what you're talking about, Michael. Sorry. It's crazy to think that there's that much information, and I'm going through it right now because I want to share with you what I'm seeing, and it's super interesting that just in just my cursory review of the first set of ads that I've seen as I'm going through this, it absolutely echoes what we've been talking about over the last 25 episodes of this podcast and video series, where we talk about you need multiple formats of ads running against these motivations. You need visuals, you need videos, you need long format text, because guys, not everybody consumes content the same way. There are people who like to watch content, there are people who like to listen to content, and there are people who like to read content, and that is their learning preference, and it's evidenced by what we're gleaning from the activities that the IRA did, to influence and really, they wanted to sow social discord in America, right? I'm not about that at all, not one bit. Makes me sick. But don't be mistaken. We need to understand, as businesses, they kind of left their playbook on the ground for anybody to look at. And if you're a smart business person, you need to pick up that playbook and say, okay, guess what? I don't have to go out and create 470 business pages that are fake. I'll use my real account, and I'll also take the time and think about what's most important to my audience. I'll think about that first before I put out any piece of creative that is, self-promotional and look how great I am, and look how wonderful we are, and here's all the great things that we do. I'll really rethink about positioning and messaging and communicating with those people who are most important to me in my business, and that's the people who spend money with me, whether it's through purchasing products or purchasing services, or subscribing to our software, whatever that is. That's really huge. And I think, look at it, just a couple of things, like obviously, gun control, protecting the borders. This is just scratching the surface. And again, they had multiple pieces of creative and headlines, visuals, videos, massive amount of creative content, all running at the same time, but at a fraction of the cost. $100,000? Are you kidding me? That is so cheap, and they had global effectiveness. So again, I think it's going to be interesting in 2020 and the 2020 election, and really for the future of businesses in 2020. Facebook actually announced this week that they, in an effort to, provide greater transparency for, the election areas where elections are coming up. Obviously in other countries, they have elections that are happening this year, and then of course next year, in the US. But one of the things that is changing this year is that Facebook is going to require that businesses go through a verification process to verify who you are when you're placing an ad, especially if it's going to be related to political content or national issues that are important to, sort of national related causes. Actually here at Digital Ops, we've gone through the process of registering and being a verified advertiser for Facebook. So I literally had to take a blood sample and get it notarized and leave a DNA sample and put the business name. I'm just kidding. But we did have to go through the have our identities notarized and submit that with our Facebook advertising pages and our ads manager. So, Facebook is taking measurements to ensure that, the fake news and these fake businesses accounts are not done in a malicious and, underhanded, attempt. But as businesses, as a local mom and pop operation, or even as a regional, or even as a national company. I don't care if you're an engineering firm. I don't care if you're a bakery with 8 locations. I don't care if you're a law firm, that practices in one specific area. It really doesn't matter what your business is. What matters is right now, if you want to grow your business, the single best use of your marketing dollars is on a platform that allows you to identify the behaviors of people on the web and the people who are using their mobile device when they're visiting and consuming content, and say, I want to show this ad to people who are interested in, the things that are important, that are related to the kinds of work that we do. And then the content that I'm going to create it in a way that it provides value first to that user that's watching and consuming and reading the content, so that I can, again, gain attention at an underpriced value, right? I mean, literally, we're talking, even for our clients who are not spending anywhere near $100,000 over a 18-month period, we're talking about, spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a month on ads, who are paying literally 2 and 3 cents per transaction. Guys, there is no other platform advertising that price is under that price per attention is that cheap. It's so cheap. So, and again, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care about Facebook. I don't care about Instagram. It's not that they're my favorite platforms. What I do care about is when I go to bat for my client and they charge me with the charge to get them some attention so they can grow their business, I want to go to the platform where I can leverage that underpriced attention and make their dollars stronger. I want a nickel to spend like a quarter when we talk about, getting the message out. And that's what you should want too. So I hope that if you are a business owner, or if you are a business development manager for your company, or if you know someone, please share this link with them. Please let them get hooked up on the podcast. These next 3 episodes that we're going to go through, I think, are going to provide you with incredible insight on what your content strategy needs to be over the next 18 months, because I guarantee you the political parties and everyone else, is going to start dumping money into these platforms. And, who knows, we may only have 24 to 36 months left on this underpriced attention. And then it's going to go somewhere else, because the masses are going to go somewhere else. I mean, like right now, LinkedIn organic traffic right now is really a great value. But please share this link. I really hope you will. If you have questions about this, I'm fascinated. I'm very curious about how this is going to play out. Love to have you leave comments on Facebook or on Twitter, as we'll be sharing the link to this. Guys, thank you so much for joining in today, and thank you for joining in every day on the Video Marketing Podcast series. I hope you find great value in it. My name is Michael Wynn. I'm the Chief Digital Officer of Digital Ops, a division of RB Oppenheim Associates. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow for part 2 of the social web effect of 2020, gleaning insight from the Russian Facebook ads of 2016. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.